Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Demo Theater 2019. My name is SHMUEL BORNSTEIN, and I'm a Director of Portfolio Management here at OurCrowd. Over the last few years, this very stage in the OurCrowd Summit has been the platform from which many fantastic companies have launched off. And this year, the Demo Theater promises to be no different. I'm absolutely thrilled and privileged to present to you today 6 tremendous startups that are changing the world, the way in which we interact with it, and really taking humanity forward. These companies range from brain surgery technologies to advanced agri-tech solutions, wireless power companies to skin burn care, and AI to capture videos of business, life, and really to help us manage all the technology around us, as we're soon going to learn. Please put your hands together and let's get some energy into this room as we invite these 6 amazing companies to the stage. Okay, the first company, Surgical Theater, has developed an innovative 360-degree 3D immersive virtual reality environment that helps doctors navigate surgeries before they actually do that. I'm inviting to the stage Dr. KURTIS AUGUSTE, who is joining us today from San Francisco to introduce to us today Surgical Theater. The platform has created this incredible technology that allows both the doctor and the patient to actually dive through the brain before surgery. Please, doctor.
Thank you. So, greetings from San Francisco. Virtual reality is everywhere. It's changing the way that we play video games, how we shop with retail, and now it's changing medicine. And I think the easiest way to show you is if we actually take a tour together.
That'll be
so I'm
fantastic.
going to invite you to have a seat. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is I want you to just for a second pretend that you're me. Okay. So you are a pediatric neurosurgeon. So no medical school, no residency, just congratulations.
Thanks, just like you.
So you're in your office and you get a call that in the emergency room is a 14-year-old boy, athlete, avid runner, cross country, had a headache, got a CT scan, it showed a bleed. So he's here with you now in the ER and we're getting this scan done. And the next thing you need to do is now get an MRI. In the scanner, he stops talking and he loses control of his right side and then he becomes comatose. We abort the MRI, we take him to the operating room and do what's called a decompressive cranie, remove the bone so that the brain can swell, and you've saved his life. Congratulations. In 30 seconds, you've already saved a life. Okay?
Thank you, thank you.
But we still need to get this MRI, and so now we've done it, and here it is. So this is what you see. These are 2-dimensional slices in 3 different views. It's grayscale, there's no color, and you have to scroll through each one of these planes to get a sense of things. And what you see, and I put the crosshairs on it, is this patient actually had a tumor, okay? And you actually encountered that tumor in the first surgery, and you took some of it, but you chased it to the edge of the bone, and then you stopped. So now, what we're just doing right now, this exercise of talking through things, going through 2-dimensional images, and trying to process what we're going to find out in the operating room, is the exercise you do every day as a neurosurgeon. It's a difficult operation to do in your own mind's eye, and that's where virtual reality comes in. That's where surgical theater comes in. So what I'd like to do now is invite you to put your headset on, and we're going to switch to a different view on the screen. And just for the audience's sake, we're going to have a split screen. On the left is kind of a zoomed-out view, a reference screen, to show you where we are at all times in virtual space. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to see what we see. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So first things first, welcome to the brain. Okay. And I'm going to point out a couple of things here. So there's going to be a line here that you're going to be able to see. Do you see this line on the back of the head here? There's the back of the head.
I do.
And that's your incision from your last surgery. And then you see the back of the earlobe here?
Yeah.
So that's just to give you some orientation to where we are. I'm going to spin the head around here, and we're going to take the skin away now, and I want you to just look at the brain that you've exposed with your decompressive craniectomy. And here it is. Very different. No grayscale, vivid color, 3-dimensionality. Okay, so I'm going to point on some purple pipes here. Those are vessels on the surface of the brain tissue itself. Here was that tumor that you encountered on that first surgery that you started to take some of, and here's the cut edge of the bone. You chased it back to here, to this point here where you could no longer see, and we painted that green. I'm going to lean over here a little bit and point out, I don't know if you can see some dark red in there, just peeking down at the base of that hole there is the blood clot. So for a second, I'm going to peel away the brain tissue. And now you can get a much better view of that big blood clot that this patient had originally, some of that pink tumor that you encountered the first time that you chased back. And then we're going to remove those two elements so that this is what you're left with on this MRI behind us. And then you and I are going to shrink ourselves down, and we're going to literally, and very virtually, fly into this patient's brain. So we're going in, we're shrinking down into this patient's skull, and then you and I together are going to be in his head. And then we're going to turn around and look over our right shoulder, and then tucked up on the roof of our cavity here is this green object. That green object is the residual tumor. And there's a purple pipe that's going through it. That purple pipe is a superhighway of blood called the superior sagittal sinus. So it's a very good job that you did because you didn't chase that tumor all the way back. If you had, you would have blown into that superior sagittal sinus and caused catastrophic bleeding. The other thing is maybe you would have stopped, but you wouldn't have appreciated that there's actually tumor that goes on the other side of the superior sagittal sinus. So these are all little details that show up in three-dimensionality that did not show up on your two-dimensional survey, and it's very, very useful to have this kind of information before you go to the operating room. So I'm going to ask you to take your headset off here. And that's just a quick summary of how this technology is very, very helpful.
I cannot believe that what you were showing me there is actually the same thing that was on the screen before in grade 2D.
Yeah, very, very different. And that's the real advantage of having this as a surgeon, is that there are things that come out in a three-dimensional survey that don't show up on a two-dimensional survey, and you always want to be prepared for these little landmines, these little surprises that may happen during our surgery to keep your patient safe. There's also just very difficult and complex three-dimensional relationships between bad anatomy and good anatomy, and you really want to have a good handle on that before you go into the operating room.
So how has this changed the way you practice medicine? What's the advantage to the doctor and the advantage to the patient?
Well, for the doctor, you can rehearse. There are much fewer surprises when it's game time. In the comfort of my office, hours or days ahead of time, I can go through multiple permutations of the surgery and visit this patient's pathology before I even set foot in the operating room. So when it comes time to operate, we are highly focused on the very, very best approach to the problem. And for the patient, it's an entirely new way to communicate. I just find myself speaking a lot less, and I let the pictures do a lot of the explaining. But you don't have to take my word for it. We have the luxury today of having this patient here with us today. And I'd love to invite Matthias up on the stage with his mom, Lindsay. And so thank you guys for being here.
Of course.
Thank you for allowing us to roam around your brain in front of all these people.
Thank you for the surgery you did. That was great. It was awesome.
Well,
so,
anytime.
Matthias, not to put words in your mouth, but how did that make you feel when you had an opportunity to fly through your own brain yourself?
Wow, it's just so surreal, and I've never done anything like that before. It's just so different from the MRI, like you guys said. It's just a completely different experience.
And then, Lindsay, how was the experience for you as a mama bear, seeing your baby go through all this and have this technology to share the plan with you?
Yes, it was utterly transformative. There was so much about the experience that kind of strips away all of your confidence in life. And being able to have a little bit of that power and knowledge kind of at your fingertips again helps to eliminate a lot of the trauma that this experience had caused. It was really, really wonderful.
Thank you. Well, great. It's really important that we share your story with as many people as we can, because you're one of the first examples of how this kind of technology is really changing medicine and changing the game of how we take care of patients like you, and I'm so glad that you're doing so well. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much to Matthias and to Lindsay for joining us today, and of course to Dr. Auguste for coming all the way out to be able to show us this amazing technology. and the way it's changing medicine really forever. Our second company is TechSee. When was the last time you unpacked a new router but got caught up in the wires? Or you tried to sync a new headset to your phone, but the Bluetooth didn't quite work and you couldn't quite get that whole thing connected? Well, that will never happen again thanks to a company like TechSee. TechSee, using machine vision and augmented reality, has created an incredible support for experts to be able to come in and be able to help people as they try to move through their technology issues, be able to identify and diagnose, and then help to correct all the issues that they potentially have whilst they're putting together the technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ziv Or, the VP of Business Development at TechSee. Okay. Ziv, why didn't you come join me on stage anyway? How you doing?
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks for joining us.
Ooh, what a crowd. Hi, I'm Ziv from TechSee, and we've created the world's first assistant powered by computer vision, artificial intelligence, and augmented reality. And if that's not enough buzzwords for you, it also works with deep learning and object recognition. Okay. So I want you to meet Eve, this nice-looking, whatever this is. Eve lives on a cloud, and she's also very smart. She has billions of eyes connected to a brain. This brain is an amazing brain. It has unlimited capacity of learning and processing. And she also has virtual hands. To simplify this, the eyes is the object recognition element. The brain is the deep learning, computer vision, AI. And the virtual hands, that is the augmented reality. And Eve's mission in life is actually very simple, which is to make our lives simple. In other words, Eve helps us, humans, better connect with devices, products, things, anything in the physical world that we need help with. So before I go into the demo, I want you to imagine this. You buy a new product, a new consumer electronic device. You bring it home. Obviously, you're very excited. You want to operate it. You open the box, you look at it, and you're stuck. So you have a few options, of course. One is scratching your head. That's not going to work. Second could be reading the manual. Yeah. The third could be opening a laptop, opening a tablet, going online, searching for a how-to video. And then if you do find it, obviously you understand that that video was not created in your home. It's not your setup. And that video won't really work. It's not going to track what you do. It's not going to tell you if you made mistakes. The fourth element that you could do is call customer care. Good luck with that. By the way, if there's one single thing that unites everyone in this, actually unites humanity, is the fact that we hate calling customer care, right? I've Googled this the other day, and apparently, it might shock you, but 39% of us would rather clean their bathroom than call customer care. Just Google it, you'll find it. And 71% would rather go to a dentist than wait at home for a technician to show up. So anyway, that doesn't work. And the fifth option is use Eve. Actually, it should be the first option. So Eve is either based on a browser. You can simply scan a QR code and Eve is going to come alive. Or you can click on a link and she'll arrive. or it can be built inside one of the applications that we all have on our phone.
The suspense is killing me. Show us. What's it
Okay.
do?
So I've got here a set-top box that either was delivered to my home or I get it from the shop. And what I need to do here is put all these cables together. I need to connect it. I need to connect it to the TV. I need to program it. I'm not going to do the whole demo because I don't have a TV here, and I don't think we have time for that. But let me just show you how this works. So I open Eve. One thing I didn't tell you, apart from computer vision and augmented reality, Eve also talks to me. Okay, so all I need to do is really just follow the machine, follow the instructions.
Name is Eve. I am going to help you to install your set-top box. I will ask you to show me the set-top box and cables by pointing your mobile's camera at them.
Yeah, this is my phone, by the way. Okay, so everything I do, you'll be able to see. So Eve tells me, show me the
Please aim the
device.
camera at the set-top box rear panel so that the drawing roughly overlaps with the device.
As soon as I show the device,
I
Eve
could
will
not
tell me.
spot the device. Let's try
demo
again.
effect.
Please confirm this is. Please
do
aim
this
the
again.
camera at the set-top. That looks like the front
Eve
panel and
recognizes
not the rear.
that this is
Can
the
you
front
rotate
panel.
the device and show me the rear panel, please? Please aim the. Here is what I found. You have a silver line digital set-top box. Let's continue.
Eve
Show
tells
me
me
the set-top
exactly
box
what
rear
device
panel.
I have.
I will guide
Not
you
just
how
the
to set
set-top
it up.
box, but exactly what device I have. And then the next thing Eve does is, first of all, it kind of maps my device, right? So it tells me, this is augmented reality, what you see here. It tells me this is the antenna, this is the HDMI, this is power, etc., etc. And the next thing, let's start to operate this.
Let's start. Find a cable that looks like the one in the picture. When you're ready.
This
hit
is
OK.
an antenna cable. I don't know about you guys, but I have no idea what an antenna cable is. So I'm going to choose the HDMI cable, and let's see how smart
Show me
Eve
the
is.
cable and rotate it, please. You almost got it.
Eve
Please
tells
show
me
the
this is
antenna
the wrong
head
cable.
Instead.
Yeah, I told you in the beginning she's smart. And then I'm going to choose the right cable and show again.
Great. Now I'll show you where to connect the cable. Now, point the camera again at the back panel. Just plug the cable into the port
And
that
it tells
I'm
me
pointing
exactly
to.
where I
Then
need
hit
to
done.
plug it in. Now, most of us in the room here don't have three hands, including me, so I'm going to put the phone on the table. And it freezes the picture so I can know exactly where to take the cable and plug this in. And then next time I'm going to show Eve the set-top box, Eve will confirm to me with this green line that I've done this correctly. And then it continues on and on
Find
to
a
the next
cable that
cable.
looks like the
Yeah,
one in the
let me
picture.
stop it because I think you get the
That is
idea.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you very, very much for that presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you just tell us, whilst you're packing up very quickly, about traction? Where is the company today?
So we've launched TechSee about 2.5 years ago with more than 60 enterprises in the US and in Europe, and also a little bit in Asia. We've raised around 25 million from OurCrowd and some other interesting names like Salesforce and Scale Ventures. We're a team of 50 and we're growing, and yeah, the future is really bright.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Didn't forget anything, otherwise I'm going to climb back and get it.
Thank you. Our next company, uBeam, is a technology leader in the wireless power industry by utilizing airborne sound waves to transmit power at long distances to charge various electronics. Transferring power through sound, to me, sounds like it's science fiction, but I'm going to be joined on stage very shortly by Daniel Cheng, Director of Product Marketing, to tell us how far the company has really come. Daniel, please come up.
Give me a quick second to plug a couple things in real quick.
In the meantime, Daniel, tell us what this is exactly.
Yeah, great question. So what you're going to be seeing here is a couple of our demos. On the right side here is one of our transmitters. It has an ultrasonic transmitter on the bottom. On top is an IR camera that helps us track where the receiver is. And on the right side is actually one of the customer development kits. So we've really just come out of the gate during CES this year with these customer development kits, because this represents the next step for uBeam. We're engaging with consumers, we're engaging with commercial partners, and they demand these type of solutions to be able to validate the technology, to try it out in their own labs, and ultimately design in and make everybody a lot of money. So, great. So I want to give everybody a quick overview of what uBeam does. We are a ultrasonic wireless power transfer company. When everybody thinks of wireless power, I'm sure everybody thinks of putting your phone on a keypad, not daring to move it, because if you knock it off, that stops the charging. We're talking about power over distance. We're sending power anywhere between millimeters to meters away. And we're powering consumer electronics, we can power IoT sensors, and we can power a wide array of devices that require these type of technology, the always-on problem, as we like to call it.
So how does it work? How does sound transfer energy?
Sure. So sound energy is everywhere. So you're hearing me, that's sound energy. I think the fact that you can hear your neighbor at 2 o'clock in the morning playing music when you're trying to sleep is also sound energy. What we use is actually ultrasound. So ultrasound operates at a higher frequency than regular sound, which means that we can focus it better, we can transmit the energy more effectively, and ultimately get the energy to the receiver from the transmitter by just sheer movement of air. And the movement of air will eventually charge, power, and solve a lot of unsolvable, currently wireless power issues.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So these are the two demos. First, I wanted to show you this, just to make sure everybody understands this is a receiver that has no batteries built in. On one side is ultrasonic transducers, and on the other side are just simple LED lights. So when the ultrasonic transducer receives the energy, you'll light up the light. So what you see here, basically, is light energy or sound energy transferring over air, and this can go across meters. So we can go in, we can go out, and you can see the energy being lighting up the lights over here. And on this side, which is our other transmitter, this is actually a ultrasonic transmitter that operates with IR camera. So the fact that the IR camera works is that then it tracks the receiver over air, so you can have a moving target. Now this one is fickle because I didn't plug it in earlier. So let's give it a little quick minute to warm up, and we can talk about basically what the applications of these type of technologies are. So with ultrasonic energy, it's actually very safe. It doesn't go through the body, it bounces right off the body. So I think... It
sounds similar, to, I guess, to ultrasound, right? What people go for scanning babies or tumors. Is that the same kind of technology?
Exactly. So people have been using ultrasound all over the place for many, many years, ranging from, like you mentioned, medical imaging, to parking sensors, to dental cleaning tools. Even though nobody likes to go to the dentist, they do use ultrasonic energy to clean your teeth. So they use that all across the various industries to make sure that you're actually delivering power safely. And we're doing the exact same thing. We're basically using ultrasound to deliver power over air to charge these electronics. So this one, oh.
TechSee.
Yeah. So I think that shows that ultimately there's one point of failure. So once we plug it in, I think it takes about 30 seconds to warm up. But
Daniel, when are we going to see this in the market?
So we actually, since coming out of the gate during CES, we've actually been engaging with a lot of commercial partners. And they've actually shown a great deal of interest. So we are getting design-ins with these commercial partners, And ultimately, it's up to them to move along the product lifecycle.
There we go.
Oh, yay. All right. One quick thing, as you move the receiver, you can see how it tracks the receiver up and down, left and right, and you can send the power, and this will basically be able to target multiple targets in the air in order to supply power. But back to your question about when we're coming to market, you should be able to see something that's released by our commercial partners. We're a B2B company. We're licensing the technology to the various partners. So once they release a product, you guys will enjoy the ultrasonic wireless energy that is uBeam.
Thank you very, very much, Daniel.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Dan Ariely, the famed Israeli behavior economist who sustained severe burns to over 70% of his body, describes the ordeal of changing the bandages. He writes as follows: "Because I had no skin, the bandages adhered to my raw flesh. The nurses would rip off the bandages, then rub the freshly wounded flesh to remove the dead tissue until they saw bleeding, a sure sign that the underlying tissue was actually still alive. They would then put on ointment on the wounds and re-bandage my body. The next day, they would repeat this agonizing process. The only time I'd reprieve from the torture was in the days that I actually had surgery, and sometimes the day after. Oh, how I looked forward to surgery, the bliss of anesthesia, and the few days of recovery." I'm joined today on stage by Dr. CHEN BARAK, the founder and CEO of Nanomedic, whose mission is to get rid of these kind of torturous procedures. Nanomedic has developed the first and only system that integrates electronic spinning technologies into a portable bedside device that is able to offer immediate care to the $42 billion skincare market. Please, let's put our hands together and give Dr. BARAK a warm welcome.
And Dr. Claudia Barzilai as well.
Thank you. What is this? What are we looking at?
So this is the Spinker device. It's a portable electrospinning device that actually creates in real time a temporary skin layer to areas that are wounded, that the original skin is removed.
So it's a layer of skin that it's placing on?
Right. What we actually do is the electrospinning technology allows us to create from a polymer solution a layer of nanofibers. And these nanofibers biomimic the structure of the human tissue and replacing the missing part of the skin, allowing and enhancing the healing process underneath.
Okay, let's see how this thing works.
So we have a victim here.
Is this going to hurt?
We'll see. No, it's not hurting. Actually, as you could see, we work the device from a distance of 20 centimeters, so we don't touch the wound at all. And this by itself reduces the pain during the treatment.
I can actually see it start to layer on my skin.
You do? Okay.
So what does this mean for the patient?
What it means that the main advantage is that we apply it once. You will get this layer now, and it will stay on your wound all the way through the healing process. So there's no redressing, removal, as just told by SHMUEL about Dan Ariely. So we save a lot of pain from the patients, and we save a lot of work from the healthcare system. The layer remains on the wound, and once it sees the new skin built underneath, it just dries off and peels off on its own.
And this is remarkable. Is it waterproof?
We don't see it. Okay, now you see it. So you see a SHMUEL hand. It has a whitish layer on it. As soon as we see a white layer, it's already covered. But when we demonstrate, we usually do a little bit more so that we can peel it off later and show it to you. And remember, SHMUEL is not wounded, so we will not get the adherence that we get on an open wound. On an open wound, we get really an adherence at the really microscopic level. So it follows 100% the morphology of the tissue, and it will stick to it to a level that allows you to shower regularly and to keep your mobility and your motion, especially in organs that are you need to move all the time.
It provides full flexibility.
Yes, it's very flexible, and even in the picture you can see how accurate the layer followed all the details of the hands of SHMUEL, and because he's healthy, we can actually peel it off and see this very thin layer that is actually a temporary skin layer that remains on the wound throughout the healing process. And now this is a portable, this is a technology that can be versified, as we can add into our solution a lot of active components in our pipeline, such as antibacterial materials, such as collagen, cannabinoids, and even cells, so that we can address different wounds, different complexity of healing, and provide the physician with a family of ampoules to use.
Fantastic. And in terms of the portability, what does that mean in terms of healthcare and the scope in which you're able to access the market?
Right, so the fact that the system is portable opens up a wider range of access points for us. So, of course, naturally we start in hospitals, but it's very easy to see it function in every clinic. It's very easy to see it function in ambulances, in emergency services, in the army, and even in home care. Because as you know, today the healthcare system is gradually moving the care towards the home of the patients, such as chronic wounds, for example. Today they will get their treatment at home by a nurse. So the portability of the system allows us to approach all these audience and get a wider exposure.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, SHMUEL.
Thank you. We've come a long way since an apple allegedly fell on the head of Isaac Newton. Well, this new company will make sure that can never happen again. As that apple would have started to show signs of initial ripeness, a drone would have autonomously flown into the fields, picked it off the tree, and taken away before it had the time to actually fall. Our next company, Tevel, has developed a fleet of drones that is autonomously picking, pruning, and caring for orchards. Please put your hands together and give these guys a couple of minutes as they prepare Tevel's Wizard drone. And I'm joined on stage with YANIV, MAOR, the CEO and founder of the company. YANIV, whilst they're getting this all set up, how on earth did you think of this idea?
Well, I'm coming from the technology market, 20 years of experience in R&D. And 9 years ago, I watched a documentary about labor crisis in agriculture. The producer took 20 young, healthy people to work in fruit picking. After the first hour, 3 quit. In the second hour, additional 3 quit. Within half a day, nobody stayed at work. So I watched this doco with the perspective of technology eyes, and I thought to myself, this is a real need. This is a huge opportunity. I must bring robotics to this important market.
And is it cheaper to operate a drone as opposed to cheap labor in the fields?
Yes. We have many benefits operating a drone, but one of them is the cost. Our cost is 10% of manual harvesting costs. This is a very cost-effective solution that answers a very, very large need worldwide. Everywhere we go, every food company, every customer that we're speaking with has a problem, a big problem. They don't have enough people to pick the fruit.
That's amazing. And why drones as opposed to robots, land robots?
We're small, we maneuver, we can access everywhere. We can go too tall, to high trees. We allow farmers to grow taller trees. Today they grow to 2.5, 3 meters. We allow them to grow 4.5 meters. And I described the cost. Our cost is very, very cost effective. The ground robots is at least 1 order of magnitude higher in cost, and sometimes even 2 orders of magnitude higher.
And what about in speed?
The speed, a single drone walking like a single person. This is the rate. And the cost of the drone is significantly lower than the salary of 3 months of picking.
So are you going to be selling drones? Are you selling a service?
No, so we are a service company. We develop the drone. This is our technology, very advanced technology. But we are not going to sell the drones. We are going to set up a local partnership worldwide with food companies and partners that want to partner with us. And there are a few that we are already working with. And we set up this service company, and we pick the fruit, charge per ton, and share revenues with the partners.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's see it working.
Yes, let's see it. Now, what we will see here is fully autonomous machine that detect the fruit, maneuver, and pick the fruit.
So to be clear, what we're about to see is actually fully autonomous.
So the drone will take off and detect the fruit, generate a harvesting plan, and then execution. A lot of AI, balancing algorithms, maneuver algorithms, trajectory planning, a lot of mathematics, and a lot of algorithms integrated into this drone. The nice thing is that the hardware is very simple, and the software and algorithms are very advanced.
Meaning that it's not going to get blown over in winds or in rains, and it could continue even in bad weather?
Again?
If it's windy and rainy outside, the drone will continue to
Yes,
work?
yes.
Wonderful.
Our drone is very robust. We can walk on wind, it's rain. Actually rainy, people don't pick at rain. Now we detect the fruit, and we'll generate a plan and execution, one by one. Now imagine hundreds of drones working simultaneously together and pick the orchard in a very cost-effective way and reducing the risk of the farmer of bringing not available workers. Thank you, Wizard.
Thank you.
Very
Fantastic.
sweet apples. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much to Tevel. Thank you. Our final company today is loved and used by most people in this room. Magisto is leading the industrial revolution of video marketing using powerful artificial intelligence and technology products available today to provide unprecedented ease and scale at creating commercial videos. Please welcome to the stage TAL DAGAN, CEO of Magisto. As we setting this up, tell me a little bit about the product. What exactly are we about to see?
Okay, just think I need to be here. I'm not mic'd. Okay. I'm actually terrified. I've never been on stage after an apple-eating drone and 2 brain surgeons. So I'm terrified. So, okay, let me just check it's working. Is it right? Isn't that USB? Okay. Okay, so apparently it should work. Okay, so wow, what an audience. Amazing event. So my name is TAL DAGAN. I'm the COO of Magisto. And we are a leading platform for automatic, smart video creation, helping small businesses and consumers to really create video and grow their business with video.
So what does that mean exactly? Can you walk us through what we're going to,
Yeah.
what your company does?
Yeah, of course. Today, for a small business, if he wants to survive on social, on his website, on e-commerce platform, you need video, right? But creating video is extremely difficult. It's one of the most complex forms of art out there. Let me see, you have here a capable audience, right? So how many of you, raise your hand, how many of you have created a PowerPoint or Outlook email or a Windows doc in the last month? Raise your hand. Okay, that's nice. How many of you have created a video, edited a video and posted that on social or on your website to support your business in the last month? Okay, so if you're a small business, you are not able today to create a video, but that's extremely critical for your business. And our vision is to make video simple, much more simple than PowerPoint or email or Word, so you can really grow your business.
Great, so let's see how it works.
Okay, no, this is me surfing, that's not that. Okay, so video has really gone a long way in the last 3 years, but one area where it hasn't really grown, and I'll show you that, is in e-commerce. So you're a small business. Let's say here you are, this is a very small store, and you're selling apparel and clothes. This one is on Shopify. And now you would love to have video for each and one of your products because you know video sells much, much better than anything else. It converts and it's engaged much, much better than any other form of media. Still, how can you make video? Okay, because if you have 100 products here, you need 100 videos. And now you have a Christmas sale, you need another 100 videos. And then you have a winter and Mother's Day. That's thousands of videos each and every month for one single small business. That's impossible, okay? So this is how e-commerce looks today. It just looks like a bunch of photos, more and more text, and that's what it is, okay? Now I'll show you what you can do with Magisto. So this now, I'm going into the back end of this site. It's on Shopify. So this is Magisto on Shopify, okay? I will choose a product, which I showed earlier. Okay, let's see what images I want. Now, the process I'm now showing you is also done totally automatic by our AI, but I'm just doing this now manually to show you how it works. So I've chosen the images I want to make the video of. I will choose any one of several hundred of styles, okay? It's already integrated into the site, so I already have here my colors of my brand and branding and fonts. Everything is in here, okay? I will choose the music. I can, of course, go over and choose, but I will now choose the music. And then you actually, I need to decide which type of video I want to make. So already, the product name is already here, and the price is here, the store name. I can choose a call to action. Let's say I want to shop now, and I apply, okay? Of course, I can choose if I want it to go in different formats from different platforms. Let's go, okay? So now what's happening is now the AI is actually analyzing all the material. It's analyzing what's there, what's important, what's not, what parts of the product to focus on, and exactly what type of video to make, and it's all done in the background. I just need a layback, and I'm showing you now one product, but if I have 100 products, it'll do that automatically in a click for 100 products. Okay, so here is now my video, except I don't have the sound, which is Basa. Wait a second. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I'll show it again because you didn't see that. Okay, so now if you are a small business, in one click, you have videofied not just one product, you have videofied your entire web. And now you have videos which can go for your website, for your Facebook, for your Instagram. It's all videofied. Let me show you an example of another site. This site is on Wix. We have an integration with Wix. Okay? And again, just like every other e-commerce platform, you have here just photos and text and text and text. Now, this is important. Let me give you one example why this is so important. When I want to buy a new product today, what I do, I'm an old guy, I go to Google, I Google it, and I read reviews, and after a couple of, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I go and buy the product. I have a kid, he's 15 years old. He thinks I'm crazy. Okay? He goes to YouTube, and he sees an unboxing video, right? He will never do what I do, and he thinks I'm really, really old and crazy because I do that. So if you're a small business, and you can't create a video, again and again and again for all your products, you're not going to sell to my son. But it's not just my son. It's a whole generation of millennials who will never buy your product if you can't videofy your website. So this is the website I showed you, and now this website has taken all of his videos to Facebook, right? Show you example. Now all the videos are done as if it's a real live editor professional done them. They're all in the branding colors. Okay? This is an example, and it doesn't matter, you can have just one image, you can have several images. They're all going to be professional videos on your website. And they're all done totally automatic by a machine. Okay, this one was done for Valentine's.
Baby, we gon' make it to the end of time. This loving is forever.
Two more examples. Now here's one which is done a collection of all, it took the collection of all your products and made a short video of all the collection.
So, your claim is that you could make these videos in just a few seconds? Yeah. I think the proof is going to be in the numbers. Do you have thousands of registered users or tens of thousands?
I'll show one last video and then I'll talk on the numbers. So this one is what happens if you actually don't have enough footage on your site, right? Because you just have one or two images. So the AI knows how to automatically bring stock footage, okay, and create stock footage for you. So for example, you want to make a summer campaign, but you don't have any footage which is relevant. So the AI made this automatically, a summer campaign with stock footage. Okay, so that's Wi-Fi got stuck. Okay.
So tell us your numbers. How many users do you have at this stage? Thousands, tens of thousands?
Okay, so we've been for a while. We're a small company, but I think we have big numbers. Oops, let me take that away from here. So we have today 100 million users worldwide.
Wow.
We have over 100,000 small businesses who are subscribed to the service and paying for the service. They're generating hundreds of thousands of such videos a day. So there is not enough, literally not enough video editors on the planet to do the amount of videos we are creating today just for our businesses. We have seen amazing growth in the last year, well over 100% growth, several tens of millions of dollars revenues. And we think this is just the start. Because what you see today, what I've shown you here, is really e-commerce before and after video. And just like you had web and Web 2.0, you didn't have photos before Instagram, and now everybody had photos. So we think this is the direction all the web is going, and we want to be a big part of that.
Fantastic. So basically, Tal, what Wix has done to website creation and what MailChimp did for email campaigns, you guys are doing for video creation.
Exactly. You can think of many MarTech market segments. You mentioned a MailChimp. So small businesses never did email campaigns before MailChimp, never. They never did a survey before SurveyMonkey. Now they do that every day. They never built a site by themselves. Now with Wix, they can build a site in a day. So Wix has 100 million plus customers, and we think video is going in exactly the same direction. It's going to be huge, and it's all going to be done automatic, and right now I'm happy to say we are the only one who can do that.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Tal. Well, thank you everybody for joining me today at Demo Theater. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, this stage has been the stage from which many, many companies have launched their businesses. And in fact, this time last year, NSL.com stood on this very stage and they tried to launch their nanosite constellation into space. Well, after many, many months of additional detailing, the launch has now been finalized for May 8th, in exactly 60 days from today, on Yom HaAtzmaut. NSL.com is launching their nano-satellite constellation into space. Everybody who has not yet downloaded the OurCrowd app, please do so now. Registration and logging in will win one person the chance to win the raffle for 2 people for a 3-day all-expense-paid trip to go join NSL and the official launch team in 60 days' time to launch their constellation into space. John Medved will be taking that draw in 20 minutes in the closing plenary. Everybody's invited upstairs. Please make sure that you do download and log into the OurCrowd app. Thank you very, very much for joining us today.